So cool, so cool. Heck yeah. Got my little microphone plugged into the phone with my charger charged into my porting device because it can take a charger now. So my phone's charging. Yeah, Jess is called. Yeah, that's what happened that time. So she called me on a break. She's liking it. She's enjoying it. So that's good. It's not as hard on her as the last job she had. It's not as hard as that one is. And it's going by fast. She said today, and um, and yeah, it's air conditioning in there. It's not nowhere near as bad as the other one. You got fans blowing on her. So I'm happy for her. I'm gonna go up here and have lunch with her here at 10:30. It's about 8 something right now. But yeah. So let's see, where was I at talking with you guys? But yeah, so basically, like that's what's going on. You got these evil beings. That they recognize their own divinity, right? That their own divineness, and that they basically get to be the gods of the world because they don't get to have an afterlife. They don't get to experience heaven, So get they get to the positions of power and wealth and whatever in life, and then that's why the lowly people that don't see the importance, don't see it, so don't get involved with the worldly affairs, with in the whole idea of a job, of having to be able to, like, yeah, we should all earn a living, but like you'd be homeless, stuck on the street, no way to feed your family. If I don't want to go work for this company and give them hours of my life, that is serving no good except your company to put money in your pocket. Like which now, okay, you're gonna pay me whenever you're making billions, gajillions of dollars, and I get paid 7.75, 8.75, $15 an hour, but like, and you're making billions, working for these companies, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the trade off, the is just wow. It's just really, I'd rather work on myself, work on my character, my values, how I treat people, the relationships that I have, and do the most for whoever, the ones that do the least for me is usually how it works out. You do the most for the least, and people that do the most for you, you end up doing the least for. It's sad. It's really sad. It shouldn't be that way. It should be the other way around. But um, but yeah, and so that's that. So like someone like that, where that's important, like then like then you look at them, they may not have very much extensive job history. You know what I'm saying? Like and it's not that it's not that they can't work, or that they don't know how to work, or that the work's too hard, or that they're not able or capable, because they are. It's just they don't feel like that. They just don't feel like that's it's not how it's meant to be. It's not supposed to be. Where I come from, wherever that is, it's not the way it was, not the way it is there. you know and it's only that way it is here because we're under a slave system. We're under a system that enslaves you, and you can't serve money and God. You cannot serve both. And so, like, you're either going to be a slave to the system, or you're going to be a slave to God. But when you're when you're a child of God, you're not a slave to Him. Because He does not, he does not tell you anything you have to do. He doesn't make you do anything. It's all by choice. It's all from the heart. It's all out of here. Like the authentic, the real. You know, and it's so beautiful, it's so amazing, but he will ask you to do some things, and then if you don't do them, You know, like okay, that's fine. But then like the alternative though is you're not you might as well just get on and do it. You know, like if for one he's never gonna ask you to do anything that's going to hurt you. You know, like no matter what, however it turns out, it will better you and and make you a better, stronger person. Like sometimes people get locked up, they blame God, or when people die, they blame God. But no, 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 no. It's life. It's the consequence of living life. Okay, and at the same time, God uses that stuff to sit there and to show up for you in big, huge ways that and to bless you and comfort you and put people in your life that offer support and their guidance and He's there doing the same thing to you with His heavenly host. You know, like and it's just and just we're blind to it. You know, we're blind to that, and we get mad and bitter and angry and blame everything on God. You know, whenever He's the only thing that's actually why you're okay, why you're even able to make it, why you're even able to get out of bed, and you know, and why you know, like what who's giving you the drive and the fortitude each and every day to be a part of the slave system, so you can feed your family and kids. You know, like it's all because of Him. He sustains us. You know, if without Him, we would perish. We would be long gone. You know, but yeah, so like we have to be oppressed. We have to experience this side of things to know what we're up against. And then see and then what's happening is we got to be able to free ourselves. Can we free ourselves of the people in charge, of the ones in power? Can we take our lives back from them? Okay, because if we can free ourselves, then we can free the universe. You know, and that's what we're gonna be. We're gonna be spiritual beings that end up going throughout the universe, you know, and bring our love and light to everywhere, you know, or to be the salt of not just the world but the universe, you know, and that's amazing. It's so wonderful, you know, like to think about that, you know, and like and to you know like and yeah, like God does choose people, and there is a chosen people, but it's all of us. It's humanity. We are the chosen. We are the chosen. There's not no one race. It's not whites, blacks, Asians. It's the humanity, the race of humanity. We are the chosen. It's each and every one of us. No matter what religious background you are, we're all the chosen. We're the chosen. We are the chosen species. You know, to be able to do God's bidding in the way that He like God can do what He wants to be able to do best inside of us, and with what we're able to do and our potential is like that's like God where God wants it, that's what He's happy with. That's with the we are His prize beings. There's nothing higher than us, except for the angels, and um but angels don't live lives though. They don't come in and live a 3D life. They don't come in and get dirty, so to say. They stay pure. They stay pure. They don't get to experience the evil firsthand, so to say. But they battle against it night and day, more so than we ever could imagine. So in a sense they experience it in a more real way than we do. Where right for us it's a battle in the mind. And or if your job, it is a physical battle against the flesh, against like if you're law enforcement or anything of that nature, of stopping corruption and evil and the hatred that's here in this place, but yeah, it's just to stop being manipulated, don't let them lie to you anymore. Realize your divinity, understand that what Jesus came to teach, and that yeah, that's what I was saying too for is that He did and save people. That's why I started talking about reincarnation and stuff, right? And that's how awesome God is. Okay, God's so awesome that you get many lives to live. Not just one chance, but 10 chances. So that way you can grow and perfect to as the highest that you want to be able to. You know, and then once you act this life, you go to the scanning machine, and then you judge yourself. That's a scanning machine. That's what happens. That's why they say like life flash before your eyes, is because it's like because you know that's what's about to happen. Like it's because after each life, okay, here's the process. Now I gotta go back, and it takes about a day or so in our time, but you realize that it really is a whole lifetime just goes by in like a day or two. It's like you go through your whole life and like in real time, and you experience and go back and you relive. So whenever you made someone feel like just dog trash, and then all of a sudden now you're in heaven now, and you are full of love, compassion, and you know all things, and all things are known to you. Okay, and then how repulsive anything evil or bad or why you would ever even want to be that way. Like so like and you see how ugly you are, the person, it just breaks your heart. It's like and you feel the pain that you made them feel. Like that is beautiful. Like that's how awesome God is. Like He didn't we are God is living this life. But through us. So I live this life, Jeremy Blake Otto. And I'm God as well. Because just like I'm my father's son. It's like my father bore me, so therefore I am my dad. It's the same thing. As that's how we are God as well. It's because genetically, we are His offspring. Okay, He made us right in His image. Okay, now, um, um, uh, so but right, but so I am my own. Yeah, I'm me. So I have my own identity. So I take responsibility for my life, my actions, and so I will be the one that basically decide if I live another life or not. I punish myself because when I go back and watch my life, how I lived it, every time that I failed and did something mean, angry, hurtful, hateful, ugly, dropped the ball. I feel it. I feel it right here, and man, and it's just not cool, and it's gonna suck. It's gonna, especially if you lived a life and you were like a bully meanie. Like think about it. Like man, you're in for a pretty bad time right there. And then you're like, oh man, I gotta go do another one. I definitely gotta get back in there because I dropped the ball big time. Totally missed the point of life. Totally did not go to my blueprint like I wanted to, or I totally didn't learn what I wanted to learn. I totally did the opposite of what I meant to learn, and it's time to go. I gotta go do another one. So then you spend about it takes about 80 years, you know. And so in your eternity, there's no time. It's like in a vacuum of there's no time, right? But so to prepare, it takes about 80 years here to prepare for a lifetime. Like uh, on average, but it can be a lot sooner. It can be a lot sooner. It could just be 20 years, but to plan everything and get everything just right, and for the people that need to be there, and for things to work out the way that's best for you, that's whatever it is for you, takes about 80 years, right? So yeah, so you decide, and then you come back and live another life, and hopefully this time, and the things that you learned from the last one, you carry with you to this one, right? So what you did learn, you'll have, like when you meet someone and like, like, dang, that person's full of light. You can really see the life in somebody, and if they're, and how bright they are, and so if they're dark, if they're just, that person is, yeah, like, yeah, we all have discernment, right? And we can see, and then like you got old souls, right? Well, there's no such thing as old souls. We're all old souls. We're all the same age. Okay, we were all made in the mind of God at the same time. Okay, um, so like like we are there. We have no. I mean, we have a beginning, but we got no end, right? God is the beginning and the end. But there's not. I mean, but if there whatever was one, it's with God. Okay, but but yeah, so we don't ever end, right? We do have a start date, okay? It's all the same time. But that's why some people say they have an old soul, but it's just you've lived more lives. Think about it, okay? Like when someone's an old soul, that's all the characteristics. That's all the that's evident that that's a person who's really lived a lot. Like they have been through it. They've really, like you can tell because they just got that wisdom. They got that that just they just that that they just, you could just feel the experience of life on them, and it's and it's something that we all can tune into and can, it's part of that psychic thing, it's a psychic thing about us, is to be able to get in tune with that, to be able to recognize an old soul, to a young soul, because it's not old or young, it's just how many lives that you've lived. Really cool. And again, back to the awesomeness of God, to his supreme wisdom and knowledge, and intelligence, is the system he's got in place, of, how many lives we get to live. The fact that we judge ourselves, you know, the there's no hell, that no one goes but they don't want to go, the ones that are separate from God, they like life, they enjoy life, they enjoy their billions and billions of dollars and all their blah 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 blah. Me, see, I want more. I don't the physical earthly worldly possessions of things and the feel good for the moment, gratification things, like I can do without those. But where my heart, what's important to me, is to be able to serve somebody and help somebody, you know, get in a better place in life. To be in a better place in life. If I can bring some happiness and some enjoyment and some knowledge to somebody, like then that's what brings me joy. Is, if I can make someone's life better for knowing me, if your life is better, then I've done my job. Then I did what I set out to do. Like, if I'm not making the people around me better, then I'm not doing right. I'm not doing good. And that's really important, and to know, about yourself, to know, what you stand for, what's important to you. You know what I mean? Like, and if this rings true to you and your heart and your soul, if you're like the same way, like, then own that, and really make sure it's what you're doing, and it's God is so awesome. His wisdom, his how the system he's got in play, it's just wonderful. It couldn't have been better. It couldn't have been done a better job. There's a reason why he's God, it's because he's God, and he's that cool. He's that awesome. He's that wonderful. And there's no damnation, punishment, like that's that no, like we're parents, we have children. Are we gonna make a life for our kids to go through? And then if you don't get it right, though, son, if you mess up and drop the ball and you just want to do all of the things I don't want you to do your whole life, well, then you don't get another chance, you don't get to do it again, and you're just gonna go burn in hell now. Like, that makes no sense. And we're made in God's image, okay? And, like, like, even evil, wicked people love their children and don't want them to suffer. You know what I'm saying? So, how much more of a, better is God, than an evil parent? Way better. So just right there, that alone, that knowledge alone, And then, like I was trying to say too, yeah, Jesus healed people before ever went on the cross. Before he ever paid the penalty of sin, which then that's where they lied to us. That's where the draconian reptilians lied to us. They even lied to us through the Bible. They manipulate the words of God. They manipulated them because they know that God's in here speaking to people. They know that God is here helping us because we have the heavenly host. We have the divine guidance. But what can they do? They can deceive and manipulate us because that's within their power. It's within their right because they have free will. It's like we got free will. They use their free will to manipulate and lie to us so they can therefore control and enslave us. And that's why this is where we need to rise up and liberate ourselves and take back our lives, take back, our destinies. Like, we should be the writers of our own story, not them. Like, hey, so history, his story. Okay, well, if we're God and I'm God and you're God, and now we know this, like, then it needs to be our story, you know, and not what they say it is. Not they had their shot, they had their chance. They care way too much about the wrong things. They can't, for the love of money, they can't give it up. But what the things that it affords them, the things that it gets them, is it's too much for it means too much for them. They like their positions of power that they have. They like their control, their status. They like to rule over things, you know, and that's okay. They want to be God here, but that's fine. They don't ever get to experience the vast, amazing, beautiful fifth density. You know, they don't get to experience the next life, the next existence. You know, like but we get to, and those of us that are ready to ascend fifth density, believe it, you will be ascending. You will be going. You will be packing your bags and getting on that ship and talking with Jesus when you get there, or whoever is your main person, your influencer of faith. You know, for me it's Jesus. Other people it's Buddha. You know, other religions. You know, got for a Muslim they got Muhammad or whatever. You know, whoever is your dude, that's who you're gonna talk to. You know, like we all once we get there, and we go to the scanning machine, and then we meet with either Jesus or whoever the Muslim person is, or Buddha, whoever it is. Then you go and you actually get to talk with them. You know, like you just live your life. You know, if you live the life of faith, you know, you were faithful to your deity. You know, like, and they honor you with their presence. You know, and you get to talk to them and meet them. You know, um, and it's so cool. That's amazing. You know, like, that's awesome. That's what's up. You know, and just we're in such exciting times. You know, and that's why like it's a blessing to be here at this time. You know, a lot of people. You know, in the whole universe, like God, everyone that wanted to be here, like did everything they could. You know, you had to be. I think you had to feel like you had to be able to earn your right to come here. Like it's not just for anybody. We are on the darkest planet. This is the hardest place to be, the hardest place to exist on, and because we are the prison planet. We are the prison planet. We are the insane asylum. Okay, we are the ones that are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, crazy. Okay, and they medicate us. Okay, and they tell us all these things, and we all we have is what they tell us because we don't remember. Okay, so this is like where anything goes, you know, and it's like, man, but hold up, you should rest assured that you really actually know everything that's gonna happen to you. You got an aid of host. You got a heavenly host by your side each and every day. Okay, assisting you, giving you strength, courage, hope. You know, guidance. You know, and they help give you a thought whenever a thought's needed. You know, for something to work out better, or whenever you need just that right amount of encouragement or motivation to get something done, or whatever. They are offering and providing all this, you know, for us, um, and and the dark may have been over us and have kept us suppressed and been in charge, you know, for this long now, you know, but it's all for a purpose. It all is for a greater meaning. It's all is necessary. It's the only way for us to be able to, for one, we gotta liberate ourselves. You know, how do you become somebody that saves people? Well, for one, you should be able to. What can did you save yourself? You know, and that's what God Jesus came. He came to let us know that that's what he came to tell us, that we are all heirs, we are all God. You know, as he is God the Father, you know, is as it is with him, so it is with us. You know, and if all that is the case, you know, all that's the case, um then like there's nothing that we can't do. Nothing that we can't do. And so if and then now God's plan is that's what he is. He's about love and light. Our logos is bias is to good. Okay, so um, that's the prevalence. You know, God don't like the evil, the bad, but it's necessary. It has to be, or else there's not the learning. There's not the the war would not be going on. There wouldn't be this war. There's a war because God knows what's right and He stands for what's right and good. But He's got to play both sides because he's that's how he experiences, that's how he learns, and it's how he does what he does, but he's been in charge too. God's been in charge because he's the evil as well. It's so crazy. It's crazy to wrap your head around this, but because he's not evil, but he has to be these evil things in people, and experience like they do. And think about it, he does not provide them with help. Like no, they don't need it. They're not getting it. Not gonna offer it for them. They don't like the heinous acts that they commit and can do is not what I'm about, not what I like and endorse at all. So I'm just gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna help out these guys, everyone that's about love and light and the betterment of others, because they rock, they're awesome, they're all about love, and they want to see somebody make it and not hate on somebody because they're doing good. They uh so I'm gonna offer them all the help that I can because they deserve it, um, and because they would do it for me, so I'm gonna do it for them, and I'm gonna battle myself because I'm not okay with the evil. I don't like the evil, but man, like it's because these that I created wanted to get in that life quicker, wanted to obtain that wealth, that their position, their power, they wanted to jump the gun, so that's just the way it is, that's the point of life, that's the game that we play, the battle against good and evil, light and darkness, you know, but then at the same time, like you realize, like it's not even really a battle no more. It's not even. It's existing. It's learning how to exist. Like there's got to be a way that light and dark can coexist. When it does coexist. It already does, But without one thinking it needs to take out the other, like you cannot have darkness without. Let's see. So you can have darkness. You don't have to have light to have darkness, but you cannot have. Okay, I don't know how. I don't even know what. Okay, I'm trying to go there. But yeah, so light and dark coexist has to, right? But like if it was just all dark, no light, then that's it. That's all that would be. And if it was all light and no darkness, then that's all that would be. There would be no experiencing. There would be no learning. There would be, you know, um, you got to have the both. You got to have both, and it's just I don't know. I just feel like, and I just see like just the divine wisdom and all that, and divine knowledge. There, it's so it's like art. It's majestic. It's such a beautiful system in place. That is just it's so wonderful. And how can someone say that with all the evil that happens? So like there's all this horrible, heinous stuff that we got to go through and experience so God can experience himself, so he can like that pain and suffering. Just because God feels it doesn't make it like okay, like like that's still my child that had to freaking burn to death. Like that's still my mother and sister that had to get raped and killed and burned to death. Like yeah, God might have felt it too, but that's my family that felt it. Like they had to experience that suffering, they had to experience that pain. Like that ain't right, that ain't cool. Okay, well, you're right. You know what? It is horrible, and that is so messed up. That's so messed up. But wait a minute. Now though, they're in a way better place. Like they're not. I don't gotta be here no more. You know what I'm saying? And they're suffering. Everything that just happened to them is, believe me, like it is. They are so much compensated. Like the amount of like what they gained from that, like the trade, like they wrote that, they chose that to happen themselves. No one's gonna die before their time, and everyone goes out by a way of their choosing. So like as messed up as it seems, as it sounds, like they chose that. And I know it sucks and it's hard, and I know how bad it hurts, and you don't feel like it's right, but that's what that's the way that they chose to go out. That's the way that they chose to die. And it was so that way you could learn, you know, the lessons that can be learned from this, so you can learn how to forgive. That way you can learn how to trust in me. That way you can learn how to, all the things that could be learned from a situation like that. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Like, they chose that for you, man. Like, that's how much you're loved. Okay, that's how much you're loved, and how much your family, because they chose something that horrible, and they knew it would be that hard to deal with, because of how much growth you'd be able to gain, and how much spiritually, all around enrich your being, and then you still get to be with your family once you pass on too. You get to go be with them, and then this, like, man, yeah, it was like how what happened to them. It was nothing. Like, it was like, man, like, I forgot about that as soon as it happened. Like, I got here, and then life really began. Then life really kicked off. Like, so just think about that. Think about how, like, it's just not worth getting hung up and holding these grudges and holding these resentments. No matter what's happened in life. No matter how bad you think it is, it's not. It's all for everything evil and corrupt and horrible that happens. It happened by choice, by choosing. Somebody chose to do those acts, be it because they're dark, whatever, and they don't write charts. If you're dark, you don't plan out a life. You don't, you just come, and you end up getting your aid. You end up getting, dark entities that end up, basically speaking to you, and telling you, what to do to be able to gain and rise into power, and get you where you need to be, right? But but you don't have no darkly heavenly host, though. You just got um evil beings, that just that secure, that they just, I don't know how their system works or their whatever, but it does, it works for them, and that's okay. That's not for me. But yeah, like, just the whole point of it all, is just like, just don't get to where you hold resentment or bitterness or anger in your heart to where you don't forgive. Because if you want to be able to ascend and just to not have to live no more of these existences and get to live a better existence, and to actually walk in your full power and your truth and who you really are, um, man, just forgive yourself, forgive everyone in your life that you're holding on grudges to, resentments towards, and love everybody. Don't wait to be loved. Go out and be the love. Like, if you're missing some love in your life, um if you're missing anything, then be that. Be that to yourself, for yourself, and be that for somebody else. That's how you bring it on to you. Like, if you're missing, if you need a little bit of love in your life, well, then go love on yourself a little bit. Go do something nice for you. Go treat yourself to something nice. Okay, if you want somebody and you're lonely, and you don't just want somebody just because you're lonely, but because it's your heart's desire, then you know what? Go out there and be that to somebody. Go out there and offer yourself in the most best, respectable, honorable way to somebody, like, and you'll find that person, and usually it's when you're not looking. You're just not looking, and you are offering the best parts of you to at any given moment, so when that right one, when the one you're meant to be with comes along, they'll recognize you and see you and know, hey, that's who I'm. That you're for me. You're for me. And that's because you're being, the best parts of you, who, that, so, like, just, I don't know. It's just, I've been doing this video for way long, and my mind is starting to run on empty on E. I cannot, my thinking's going down. But I really enjoyed this video with you guys. And this brings me back to another point of mine, though, is that, so, Jesus could heal people and tell them that they're forgiven of their sins before it, without ever having to go and pay the price, right? Because there's nearly no price that needed to be paid. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that never, nope. He came to show us that we save ourselves by choosing to believe. If you believe, if you believe and hold in your heart, a spot for God. However, whatever, God is God always and forever, and there's one God, and through all the religions talk about that one God. He's the same God. He is the same God, just how he revealed himself to them, okay, and then how he revealed himself to these people, okay. It's different. Each religion is different for a reason, okay. That's the way that it was interpreted by them, okay. But they all tell the story basically of the same God, and just like with Jesus is, like, but like, even with the what you want to call them, the pagans, it's Hercules, is like the story of Jesus, and just Christianity, God is, or just stuff, is basically from other religions. No, no, it's just that there's a reason why. It's all the same. It's all the same God trying to relay His story to us, you know. And it's just so cool, there's many vehicles to get to a destination. Like, you can get to to China either by boat or by plane. Okay, it's not just one or the other. You got two options, right? Okay, well, you get to God the Father by not just Jesus Christ, but by Hinduism, Buddhism, Muslim. It don't matter. It does not matter your vehicle. What matters is your heart. Do you believe? Is your heart open enough? Is it loving enough to give idea to the possibility that you're not it in life, that you're part of something huge, you're part of God, you're God, and that God is you, and that He's an actual being Himself, and that He created him and his wife, Mother and Father God created us in their image, and that he loves us and is not evil at all, but very loving, and battles the evil that it gets taken out on this plane of existence, and does everything he can to stand against evil and to rise above everything that the reptilians and that bad people mean for bad. God loves to turn around and use it for good. Like, and there's always good to be turned in from any situation that is bad and evil and malicious intent. Like, there's never not one situation that cannot be gained, cannot be used to enrich somebody's life in some way, somewhere, somehow. Like, and like, oh man, but like something that bad had to happen, just for that reason, for just to help better one person. That's the point of life. And then if it resulted or ended with someone dying, they're leaving this life for a way better existence, or getting ready to go live another one that's probably gonna be another freaking kick it butt awesome life. Like, um and they get to go be more evil again, and crap and shit on a bunch more people, but hey, they get to go live another life. They're not destined to an eternity of suffering, um but at the same time, though, like, they will face their judgment too, though, like, they do have to, they know and look at and see for themselves for who they are, and that's the evil ugliness that they are, and then they go live their life. This is your choice, what you've been choosing, and this is what you choose again. So and eventually, the dark beings go back to God the Father, and He washes them off clean, and then they get to start again. But yeah, it's a really cool system God's got in place, and He loves us very much. He loves all of us very much, and just because someone's evil or dark or negative or bad does not mean that we're at war with them. Okay, it is, we are at war with them, but but the way God calls us in this war is to offer our love and our light, is to offer compassion and respect, and to, where your enemy means to do you harm, It's where you, I mean, they're our enemy because that's what they choose to be our enemy because they want to stand against us. But just because they want to be our enemy does not mean that we got to treat them like they're gonna treat us. We can still treat them like what something that like, treat them better than what they deserve. Give them, show them love and light. Show them that awesome compassion and respect that they don't deserve, but give it to them anyways. Because you know what? That's God inside there. That is a misled, misinformed, gotten into life way too early, jumped the gun way too soon, know not what they do person, that just needs some love and some light. Need to be shown a better way because they got here too quick, too soon. They didn't want to wait on the Lord, or they didn't want to wait on God to give the green light, So you know what? That is their fault. But you know what? We're gonna forgive them that. We're not gonna hold it to them, and we're gonna give them some love and some light. We're gonna show them something better, because that's what God is. God rises above. He does not stoop down low to meet anyone's level. God remains above it all. Okay, and does not go down no one's level. He remains above it all, and aspires those that mean him harm to be better. He inspires everything to want to rise up to the occasion. Be better. I hope that's the case. I hope that's the truth. Because everything evil and bad, they don't like what God stands for and represents, but they sure do want to be Him, or they sure do like to act like Him. They sure do like what He can do, and what He has control over, which is really all of life and all of existence. But He stays on the side that He lives on. He lives on in the we're in the anti-verse, the anti-universe, and there He's in the real reality, the positive one, right, the heavenly one, real existence. We're in the matrix, so this is where evil resides, right? Everything that's good and loving is on the other side, where the bias is, and yeah, just make sure you're learning everything that you came here to learn. Make sure that if if you notice in life, there's probably a theme. There's probably a theme of things that you've been going through and experiencing over and over and over and over again your whole life. Okay, and if that's so, that's your karmic. That's your karmic wheel spinning, and that's you going through the things you need to go through to learn what you came here to learn. Okay, and it may happen in so many different ways. But if you're learning something from it each time, and you learn something from it, and as you're gaining from it each time, then none of it's a loss. It's all a win-win, and and one way or another, you're gonna get it right. You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna pass the test, and you're not gonna have to come back and live another life. And many of us are on our last life. This life, many of us. And then we're at the end of that cycle, we're at the end of that 75,000 year cycle. We've lived through all these cycles, and we've been on Earth for a very long time. And we're ready for things to change, to get better. It's about darn time. We've suffered and been oppressed for way too long. And now it's time for the good, for what God has a bias towards. Like, come on now. You've let the darkness have it for way too long. You know, the darkness was here first, but then there was light. First there was darkness, and then boom, then light came. Woo! Okay, well, you know what? That's what's up. Because light is cool. Light's where it's at. Oh, sorry guys. I'm getting on rambling now. I'm glad to share honest with y'all. And just really, really, it was really important though. I just can't stress enough how important it is to just forgive yourselves, forgive everyone else, and to love. Be the love that you are missing in your life. Okay, and then you will have it. Okay, you will have that love that you're missing if you just be it yourself. Okay, um, and like And if you have a hard time being alone, once you're able to be alone and you realize that like you'll probably never keep better company than yourself. Because especially if once you can learn to love yourself, that's really true. But like there's times like where I'll take these like 4 hour trips. I used to take 4 hour trips to Oklahoma by myself, and man, I would have the best time just in there talking in my car, talking to myself, you know, cracking up laughing, like just being just a goofball, and you look at me, if you were to look at me driving, you would think I was nuts. I was out my freaking mind. But no, like it's just well, I mean, I guess I'm different. Maybe I'm weird, but like it was a long trip by myself, and I was gonna entertain myself. I was gonna be the bee's knees for those 4 hours, and that's cool. It's a good thing, and then realizing, learning that you are worth loving, that you're worth the love and and the awesome things that you deserve. You're worth all that. You deserve all that stuff. That you really do deserve those things, and you give them to yourself. Like that's a big lesson to learn. That's like the main one. Is learn to love yourself. I did not used to love myself. Like, and this is what I got to prove it. All these like, see, it's not cool at all. Not cool at all. Um, yeah, not cool at all. But that I hated myself. I hated life. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't respect it. I took it for granted, and I squandered it many years. Um, uh, uh, but I had lessons to learn. I had lessons to learn, and spiritual knowledge to gain. And I feel like I have. I feel like I finally have. And the amount of love that I got for myself now, it's more than love that I never thought I could have for myself. I never saw this happen. I never saw it coming. And like it's just so cool. And then we never you realize that like you're wait a minute, I'm not worth this trash that I'm getting from this person. Like I deserve so much better than that. Deuces, I'm out. See you later. Like, don't got time for this. Like, when you can do that, man, like, that is freaking awesome. Like, that's what's up. And I never thought, like, I would have rather been in a relationship being treated like trash than be alone. I would much rather that, and how horrible is that? Like, that's how miserable I was inside of my own skin. That I'd rather be treated like trash than be alone. Like, wow. Really now? That's not right. There's something wrong with that. And that's not okay. Like, and that's where this world tries to get in and tell you that you're bad, you're no good, you're not worthy, you're trash, you're evil, you're horrible. That's what the Bible tells you, that you're evil, you're poor until until you know Jesus Christ, and God the Father. Until then, you are no good. You are evil, bad, and that's so opposite of the truth. It ain't even funny. Um, and so then you believe these things. You believe that you're evil, horrible, bad, trash, ugly, and you're never gonna amount to shit, And so then you don't. Then you don't ever amount to shit, and then you scar your body up, and then you are ugly, and then and then you do all the drugs and get all the charges that you just really, and you become exactly how you end up, how you thought and said that you were. You wrote that on yourself. You the epitome of our authorship. That we are creators. We are the creator made creators. And we can manifest and create right here in this space right here, in between these two earlobes right here, is the ability to create from nothing. We can create a whole life for ourselves. Family, business, community, um, all from our thoughts. These things right in here, our brain is like an engine, a conductor, and it's a manifest machine. and you can manifest your reality, whatever you want it to be. You know, if God wants to give you the desires of your heart, and He will to give them to you. But you got to be able to marry your emotions with your intellect. Okay, you got to marry them both together. And when you can do that, whenever you can pack, you know, awesome high vibe emotion behind, some very, very vivid imagining of a reality that you would like to see yourself in. Man, and then send it out there, and then let it come. Don't sit there and, oh, when's it gonna happen? Please hurry, please. You want it too bad, you push it away. You know, if you want it too much, you push it away. It's got to be just the right amount of pure, unedited desire, um, with emotion, with high vibe emotion, you know, and positivity. And then keep going being your positive, happy-go-lucky self, And let's bring it on. High vibe, positivity. That's where that's grounds for manifestation. Okay, negative, low vibe. That's why this whole world lies to you and wants you to think that you're horrible, evil, and bad, and wants you to be depressed. And all these things they put in your face to depress you and make you sad. Because when you're sad and operating low vibe, you cannot manifest. You cannot create. You know, like again, another thing we need to wake up to, wake up from. You know, like radiate in the fact that you are God, an awesome divine being of love and light, and that you have abilities to be able to transcend what you ever thought was possible. Okay, and that you have the power over so much evil and control over so much evil and darkness, and to send it back where it came from. Okay, that ain't even funny, you know, and this is our God-given right, our God-given destiny. Okay, and to whip that thing's butt, take its name, and get it up on out of here. And that's what's gonna happen. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. That's what's in play. That's what's in motion right now. And all in God's good timing, and it's right on time. And and life as we know it is finally about to come to an end. Just for another life with so much better of existence to begin. And I'm excited. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited. And I wish y'all the best. Just gonna do devotions today, you guys, but I just felt I'd share that with y'all instead. But I'll definitely get with y'all um, tomorrow, and we'll get devotions done. We'll get devotions in there, okay, guys? Well, here I gotta read one. I gotta do that. I gotta read at least one, okay? So, yeah, I'll get the Jesus today, okay? We'll go with that one. Okay. I'm good, and my love endures forever. So give thanks to me and praise my name. The fact that I am good is vitally important for your well-being. If there were even a speck of badness in me, you would be in trouble. My absolute goodness guarantees that I always do what is best. You must accept this as a statement of faith, though, because you live on a deeply fallen planet. So it is essential for you to walk by faith, not by sight, as you journey through the wilderness of this world. One of the best ways to find strength for your journey is to give me thanks and praise. Thanksgiving and praise lift your perspective from your worries and woes to the glorious treasure you have in me. Thankfulness puts you in proper alignment with me, your Creator and Savior. Praise enhances your intimacy with me because I inhabit the praises of my people. The more you praise me, the closer to me you will grow. While you are worshiping, remember that my love endures forever. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. Psalm 104 and 5. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Thou art holy, O thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel. Psalm 22:3. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of gods, for his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords, for his steadfast love endures forever. Psalm 136, 1 through 3. And that's just so true. Again, and that goes right into, being, for us to be the creators God created us to be able to be that and be able to manifest, is again by walking in that high vibe positivity. How do you do that? Being grateful and thankful to God. If you're being grateful and thankful and appreciating Him and praising Him, that's very high vibe positive stuff right there. And that is all that you need to be able to manifest. That and that how awesome God is. Like you get the best that life has to offer by feeling the best that you can actually feel. Like internally, in your emotional well-being, when it's good, then that brings more good. Like just the beautifulness of the system that's in play, the beautifulness of the matrix when it's done right, when it's done the way God made it to run, not the draconian matrix that they got in place with the money system and all that, but God's system. The law of attraction, the laws of the universe, His matrix, how it was meant to be. That one right there, where we would have lived life without being oppressed or whatever, we would have been free and not slaves to the system, like that life. That's the one that I'm ready for. That's the one that I want to be in. Because like there's gonna be one no matter what. Like that's the 3D existence, and what kind of matrix is it gonna be? Well, the darkness won. Darkness won it over, but it couldn't stay. It can't stay over us. Cannot stay or oppress us forever. We were young, but we're getting older. Humanity was a young race. Now we're not so young no more. We are, we're like finally now we're weakened. You know what? And come back at them. And get on out of here. This ain't for you no more. This is our home. This is our place of sanctuary and sovereignty. Okay, you may not appreciate your sovereignty, but we appreciate ours, and we're taking ours back. You guys to go. But all right, yep. So I love you guys very much. And if you like what I'm talking about, anything I have to say, I try to incorporate my message in each and every one of my devotions that I do each day, and it's just good high vibe positivity each day for you. Start the day off on the right foot. Um, it has blessed my life tremendously, and it's really enriched my well-being. And it's something that becomes an addiction. It's something that becomes you can't do without. You just don't feel right. You feel like something's missing if you're not doing it. And you'll notice just the day that you have after it, the quality of life that you have is just so much better when you spend this kind of time with God in the morning, when you have this kind of relationship with Him and you spend this time devoted to Him and in service to Him, it all around benefits you and blesses you and it feels good, it feels amazing, it feels right, and you learn something and you get a little bit closer to Him, and He's a little bit closer to you, and it just sets the tone for the day, and it just already puts you in gear for high vibe manifestation, and it's awesome. It's so cool, and I like to share it with you guys because it's just what's on my heart to do. It's what God wants me to do. It's what I'm gonna do, and I love you guys very much. God loves you. Jesus loves you. And they just want to see us free. They want to see us not enslaved no more, and that's what's happening. And we all have the power to take back our power, take back our reality, to take back our existence, and live the lives we're meant to live. It's well within our right and capability, and that's what's happening. It's what's going on. It's what we're doing. And so just keep on keeping on, you guys. Keep up the good work. Remain positive. Don't get stuck in this fear of these low vibe existences that the media is trying to put out there on you right now, because they don't want you to ascend. They don't want you to manifest your best reality. They don't want you to be able to kick them out. If they keep you low vibration, then you're not walking in your power. You're not walking in your true identity. If you want to walk in your true identity, you want to be walking in your full power, man, start getting high vibes. Start doing things that you can do to get your life vibrating, very positive, high vibrations, you know, and research, looking at all these things yourself, you know, and do this, do what we do this morning, these devotions, you know, like you don't have to do it exactly how I do it, but do what you do what feels right to your heart, you know, do it in your own way, you know, give back, you know, you do a video, you know, on this or whatever, we all have a part to play, you know, and I didn't know what my part to play was, you know, so I do this, you know, this is my part I can play. This is what I can do to give back. This is what I can do to help, you know, inspire hope and to at least one person, you know, and that's all that I want, you know. I just want to, you know, bring the knowledge that that I have and what God's put on my heart and had an experience, you know, to share it with you, share it with you guys, you know. And I just love you all very much, and no, I'm nothing but the best for y'all. And if anyone right now is struggling right now, going through a hard time, that needs the Lord in their life, you know, just that you just humble yourselves enough, get small enough, pray, you know, so that He may become large, and so that He may step up and show out for you, as He will. Oh, and He will, she will, him and Mother God, man, like they will. And when you start honoring and praising them both, you know, oh man, oh boy, like is she loves to be acknowledged, you know, for who she is, and because she is her, you know, like she is her own being, her own, because she is God, he is God, they are both God, you know. You got yin and yang. You got we were born with our twin flame, with our lover. We were born, we were created with in pairs. We were created, you know, a man and female. We were created with our ultimate other half. Okay, and then that's our twin flame. And then you usually don't live life together. You usually live life separated. Because while one's living life, you got the other one on the other side there, you know, rooting you along, help giving you support, you know, so that way, you know, you got that extra support over there, you know, because you know, like when your ultimate lover, you know, is about to go in and live life, that's scary. That's you know, like, oh man, your heart worries, you know, you fret for them, you know, because you know, man, it's a struggle. It's real. The struggle is real, you know. So you want to be on the sidelines rooting them on, you know, because they need it. And only whenever the mission is big enough, only whenever it's imperative enough, um, is your twin flame, um, is your twin flame actually living life with you. Um, and if you have that, if you have your twin flame, then I feel like a lot of us do in this life, because this is the time that, you know, this is where we get the most gain, the most experience from any existence, is in times like these. You know, when you got so much going on and so much karmic stuff happening, and things coming to a head, and things being revealed, and knowledge being learned, and things that were once hidden, and things that were lied about for so long are now coming to light. You know, all this is such imperative and so beneficial and awesome to be learning that. It's just great. But okay, I love you, Father, in Jesus Christ's name. Honor you, bless you. Just thank you so much for your message today, Lord. And in Jesus Christ's holy name I pray. Amen. All right, thank you guys. Thank you guys.